Alright guys, so real quick before we get into today's video, we're going to be opening 2 carbon fibers on one of my patrons, Enqui's account. He wants me to open the German Saloon carbon fibers that are out now because he is an Audi collector. But you know, looking at his garage, it would be hilarious if we actually got him a third M5 competition, just like how Reese did it like yesterday or something whenever I streamed after hours the day before. So basically what's going to happen is that it's going to be 2 carbon fibers no matter what, but the only way it'll be 2 German Saloon carbon fibers is if we get a 60 or above in the first one. If we get 59 or below, then we'll open a regular carbon fiber. So with that said, I do remember Blesseg Bless. Let's see if we can get Enqui the Audi that he wants. If you remember, I opened his what was it? Black Friday packs as well. You saw that in the bonus rounds, and we got him 5 epics in 5 packs, or 5 epics in the first 5 packs. So can we continue that? Already 57 Enqui, so that's already pretty nice. Extra ultra, but is it going to be 59 or above? Let's see. 63. We got you an Audi, so that's, I mean, let's be honest, you probably have this already, but it is 63 and above, which means we can go again. But let me see what your Audi collection looks like actually. Do you have that Audi already? Manufacturer, Audi? He does not actually, so that's a dub. There you go, bro, that's for you. Alright, so next one, since that was above 59, we're gonna go with German Saloon again. So let's open this bad boy. Let's get him an epic. Let's go. German Saloon carbon fiber. Let's see what we get from pack number 2. The best 2 things you can get from these would be the M5s. One being the... Wow! Double Ultra again. Okay, Enqui. You're at least getting 4 Ultras from 2 packs. So, Blosse, thank you very much. If only you could do this to my own account, that'd be great. And... oh, BMW 328. But I mean, we got you an Audi, we got you 4 Ultras, and once again, those are 2 really good packs in my opinion. So yeah, I'm just gonna leave this here. Obviously, I'll let you know that I'm done opening packs on your account. You can log in and look at your Christmas presents. But with that said, let's move on to the video, which is the Mclaren P1. Yo guys, what is going on? Blossom is back and welcome back to another episode of Top Drives. Now today there are a lot of things to cover, like the P1 Finals and how it's a buy series and it came out of nowhere, but we have seen this before and I'm going to tell you when. But the main thing that I want to talk about, or the first thing that I want to talk about before we get into the P1, is when I finished the challenge today, something very interesting caught my attention. If we jump into challenge right now, as you can see his text, I've lost, I've had enough, the dream is over. Quote from Max Spider Adams. Now, I find this very, very, very interesting, okay? The dream is over. Now, this can't just be me, but I put 2 and 2 together, and wouldn't you think that this would be a hint for the next update, per se? The dream is over, American dream is over. Therefore opening the doors to a new American update. That could be a hint. I don't know, but it could be a hint. We've seen hints given out by bosses before, and I mean, come on. Out of anything he could have said, he said the dream is over. Because the other thing that I want to tell you is that there are really only 2 updates that most players are thinking about. It's either going to be Japanese or it's going to be American. No way in hell is Hutch going to do a 6 European update in a row? I'm pretty sure people were already sick with ER being the 5th European update in a row. So it has to either be Japanese or American. And I know a lot of people would prefer Japanese, but as you know me, I love my American updates. And the fact that it says the dream is over, the American dream is over because there's a new American dream coming, American Dream Part 2, whatever they're gonna call it. Like, I'm just saying, man, that feels like a hint to me, and I feel like a lot of us should be on our toes. The next thing that I want to talk about is, you know, we've had 3 car updates in 2019, but we've only had 2 in 2020. So is Hutch going to at least equal? I don't know about Hutch, but for me, I always like to do better the following year. Last year I got like what, maybe 6 legendaries? This year I've gone 30 legendaries. You know what I mean? Like, I like to do better. So if they can't do better this year, at least they could equal it with 3 updates for cars, 3 car updates, 3 new car updates this year to equal 3 from last year, right? Last year we had French, we had Italian, and we had German. We had French, German, Italian. Can't believe that was last year. And then this year we've had Great Exhibition, ER, and then we have space for one more. I don't know, 2020 is not over yet, that's a hint, but the next thing that I want to talk about is let's go into events and let's talk about the Mclaren P1 Finals. This is interesting. Because first of all, we usually get a tri-series and one finals would usually span 2 weeks, right? But this time we're only getting one bi-series, not even a tri-series, so 2 events. We have the prelims going on right now, which is all rain, and then we have the finals. And then what's going to happen next week? Why are they doing a bi-series now? There's nothing to hide here. There's something going on. I don't really think that this is going to speculate a new update per se, but I think the fact that they're throwing a finals this week is because next week we might have a Christmas event. If you remember last year, 2019, the Christmas event, the top prize was a ×5 carbon fiber, and you might have remembered I've won that, and I got a second RD RS6 Avant. So I feel like that's going to happen next week, and that's why they're pushing the finals this week, because let's be honest, the P1 finals, if they follow the normal pattern, was going to land next week, not this week. But since they're doing another finals again so soon after what was the Zonda Revolution, then I think there's going to be a special event next week. And then maybe after that we can see a new update before Christmas. Who knows, right? But yeah, it's pretty interesting. But like I said, we have not seen this before. This is not the first time you're seeing a bi-series, right? We've seen this once before back in May of 2020. So May 24th, 2020 was the beginning of the SCG003S rerun bi-series. For the SCG, the Glickenhaus, House, we only had prelims and finals. We didn't have a qualifiers. But the main reason why the SCG was a bi-series back in May was because a week prior to the SCG starting, on the 17th of May 2020, we had the Lamborghini Miura SVJ Finals, which was a final event. It wasn't a tri-series, it was just a 1-car event. It was 2018 ×5, and if you were in, I think, the top 10, you would win the Miura SVJ. And then that was the event that replaced the SCG qualifiers, but we still had the prelims and the finals. But this time, we didn't have an event before this that replaced the qualifiers, but we're having the prelims and the finals. So I'm thinking, you know, we will have a special event after. Since the last time we had a bi-series, we had a special event before. So if we are following the pattern, there is going to at least be a special event in the future. So get ready for a Christmas update and get ready for possibly a new update. I mean, get ready for a Christmas event and possibly a new update. I mean, it's a stretch, right? It's a stretch that I'm calling that they're hinting a new update based off literally the boss saying the dream is over. But then, like I said, I have a second point saying they should at least equal the amount of updates they have in 2020 than they did in 2019. I know people can argue that, oh, because of the pandemic going around and what's going on in the world, you know, maybe production rate has gone down and that's why we're getting less updates. But that being said, always remember at the start of 2020, Hutch did say that they did increase their top drives team. So if you're telling me that they increased their team and they're pumping out less content, that's just sad and that's just lazy. Anyway, the last thing that I want to talk about is the event itself. A lot of people want to know what are the requirements for the Mclaren P1 Finals. It's out there, it's circulating, but I still get questions all the time talking about what the finals are going to be, what the requirements are going to be. So I'm going to put a picture right here. It's going to be RQ420 by the looks of it, exactly the same as the Zonda Revolution, and it's going to be 2015 to 2019, exactly the same as the Zonda Revolution. Now, when the first time when I saw this image leaked, I was like, oh, no way it's going to be true. I thought it was just going to be like a recycle of the Zonda Rex, just to, you know, make space for covering the real Rex. Like, I thought it was a trick from Hutch, but it looks like it's true considering, you know, the prelims have already started and the finals still have the Great Exhibition picture in the background. So that being said, it's Great Exhibition 2015 and 2019 ×5, non-prize cars ×5. So I will make a video talking about the key cars that you can get according to the tracks, but once again, I can only make the video once I know what the final tracks are going to be. That being said though, you can still have a head start on what your collection looks like, because if you go into decades and years and you go and just filter literally the same as last final, so just go 2019, go into 2015, and then scroll all the way down to miscellaneous, and then, oh sorry, collections and tag, Great Exhibition, there you go. So this is what my collection is looking like, but of course we have to take out prize cars. So if we go into miscellaneous collections and tags, non-prize cars, this is what I'm running. So interestingly enough, we are greeted again by the F-Pace, the Bentley Bentayga W12, and the I-Pace. 3 out of the 5 of the cars that won me the Zonda is in this, you know, requirement. So So what I think is, obviously Hutch is known for making sure that players don't get to recycle cars often. Obviously there are some instances where, you know, players will have a chance to recycle the same car, but at least what we've seen, they always try to make us, you know, upgrade a variety and not use the I-Pace every other week. Right? So I think that this finals is going to be all dry, especially since last finals was basically off-road. This finals is probably going to be all dry, and there's probably going to be medium ground clearance, because in the prelims we can see that they're giving out medium ground clearance cars, namely the top prize being the Bentley Mulsanne Speed, or what I like to call butter, because it reminds me of butter. It's yellow and blocky. So I think there's going to be medium, and I think it's going to be dry. So that being said, it's a long shot, but I'm going to say key car is going to be the Flying Spur, this one, and the RQ78. But this is what my hand is looking like. If you want to see what all the cars are going to look like for the pack that's going to come out, it's going to look like this. It's going to be really cool. 720S GT3 is going to absolutely destroy the competition. This car is just way above everything else with 97 handling. And the 650S GT3, so I don't know how they're going to get these cars out. Maybe if they added more mediums, but they couldn't add all medium, right? Because if they added all medium, then, you know, the best medium performance tire car is an Epic. And obviously, you know, Hutch, they want that moolah, they want the money, so they're going to want you to use the legendaries. What I think is going to be dry, I think this is going to be a good time for you to use your 720S GT3 if you have it. It's going to be a pretty decent pack though, because there's some pretty high-end McLarens. The Bentleys kind of suck, but of course we have my baby, the DBS Superleggera. I would love to get that. So anyway, I'll do a more in-depth review of the pack and the contents and the cars when the final track sets come out. That's going to be in a couple days, but that's all I have for you today. I guess this was more of like a news episode. We're talking about a lot of shockers, I guess. Like, I was shocked by just the fact that he said the dream is over, or the dream is dead, or whatever he says. And I was shocked, and I'm sure everyone is shocked that we're getting a finals this week. I don't think that we're going to get a Tri-Series final every week, or a Bi-Series finals every week, but I'm pretty sure something special is coming up, and that's why we're seeing the P1 prelims now, and the P1 finals at the end of the week. But with that said, guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode of Top Drives. It was a little bit different, a lot of speculation, a lot of things to think about, but if I were you, I would start saving, whether it be for the Christmas deals, another update, or the Christmas event, or just save for you, so if you want to get the McLaren P1. Like, honestly, just start saving. That's what I'm going to say. But anyway, I hope you guys have a great day. I'm going to stay safe, wash your hands, and blossom out.